Welcome to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. We are here every Saturday to highlight local entrepreneurs and small business owners to learn how they succeed to build their business from the ground up, what were their challenges and what are their victories. And the purpose of the show is to put a voice to local business owners and entrepreneurs, so when you contact them for their services, you have an idea of who they are and who you're talking to. When you buy from one of our guests, you are buying from a local business. Jeanette, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous, and I'm really excited about today's show.
Nice, yeah. So today we're going to have Al Davis come in, not the Oakland Raiders owner, but Al Davis. He interesting
Author.
life, author. He wrote a book on his autobiography about his life, and he's going to kind of tell us things about his book, and then if he has a chance, he also has a coffee business also. So,
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
Great,
I don't know if he wants to talk about that or not. But we
multi-talented.
very, very impressive. Yeah. So,
But again, here in Northern California, I mean, look at the people in California. I am so impressed all the time by the entrepreneurship and people that go out and do so many different things. And I think that's what we really highlight here. All the people in the Central Valley and in Northern California that are what's the true thing of entrepreneurship.
yeah, and Mr. Davis is 90 years young also. So,
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Former military.
So there's a lot to go into.
Had
Yes.
his own construction business.
Do you know what? When you say 90 years old, I mean, I just met him a little while ago, but they say the greatest treasures in the world, God, this sounds terrible, are found really buried in our graveyards and things like this. There's so many stories and so much history and so many things that I was always thinking it'd be great just to go into, convalescent hospitals and things and write down the stories of elderly people. I mean, they have lived an entire life. Their stories must be absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I went to over the weekend. I went to Eureka. I just got back last night.
Oh, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, and I was sitting next to the fire pit at the hotel, just drinking a cup of coffee before I had to start my day. And the couple I was talking to were actually from Modesto, and it was just it just kind of took me back. It's a small world,
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I finally got away from. I jumped on a plane early in the morning a couple of years ago I live in Linden, a really small town. Mm-hmm. And it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I was flying out to Hawaii, and I'm going like, wow, I'm going to be leaving Little Linden. And onto the plane comes the owners of the only supermarket kind of in town, Rinaldi's, and his family going to Hawaii, same flight, stayed at the same hotel.
Oh, wow.
Showed up at the same lagoon. I mean, it was kind of like, but I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh,
so they were from Modesto. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. It's such a small world.
Yeah, it's a small world, yeah. So we got to talking, and I mean, they were retired, their kids were the same age as my kids. They were a little bit older than me. So, but it was just nice to hear, basically what they did in their life, and she worked for Valley Sporting Goods back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was just kind of, because I used to go there, as a kid. I played baseball. It was really hard to sit on the bench a lot, but that's what I did. So
that's so nice too, because one thing I really like talking to my customers, and you find out their stories. We just wrote a condominium for an elderly gentleman, his condominium insurance, and he used to be the one that was the beer vendor at the Oakland Coliseum for all the ball games. And so, like, his stories were great, and I mean, you never think about who people are when you meet them and their life history.
Yeah, exactly.
But today, guess what? That's what we're going to be doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I've been looking forward to this. We've been talking for probably almost a year now.
I know that you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
So what took such a long time to get this guest on?
I think he just needed to finish his book, and then that was.
Oh, he was working on it at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, so he got all the final edits, and we'll find out where you can buy that and everything. So, yeah, so you're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And so I read something on Facebook the other day. I heard, really quick, I heard that the fair might be in danger of shutting down.
But you know what I think it is it's so hot.
Yeah.
I mean, here you were saying, you were sitting up in Eureka and
Yeah.
it was cooler. So you were sitting at a fire pit. I
Yeah.
mean, in the morning it's hot. And
Yeah.
it's been like 103 degrees. And I had one of my staff, she actually went down there to help out at the fair.
Oh, okay.
And so she went after work. So it was like after like 5 o'clock. She said she got heat stroke. She came home and this was working in the evening and she started throwing up. I mean, the heat is just unbearable.
Yeah.
And so I think they could probably save the fair if they just maybe move the date.
Well,
I mean, this is the hottest time of the year.
it is. And then they also have it at the same time as a state fair in Sacramento, too. So it just seems like it's.
And people have been saying it's a little expensive. They used to have the shuttle buses. I remember going to work, and in Turlock, I would see the buses going, to the fair, kind of
Yeah.
fair. And so people would see that, and they knew they could catch a bus that would take them straight to the fair. And now it's just the parking and everything else. I think they really need to take a look at it and see what could be done better, because it would be such a shame. Here again, people complain that there aren't things to do, but just a few little tweaks. Otherwise, we're going to end up with communities that don't have any community events. We don't have any local small boutiques, small businesses. I mean, everything is going to be delivered to your doorstep. And we've already seen the toll it's taken on our young people and Gen Z, no communication skills, locked up watching videos for school during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, people need to get out again and start communicating with people, networking with people, and getting to know their community.
Yeah. Yeah. I might. This is going to be, I think, today and tomorrow, the last days of the fair. So if you get a chance to go to the Stanislaus County Fair, I would go. I'm going to try to go. I'll try to go before
And
it
see,
ends. So.
I would tell you, but I'm one of those people. I'm Swedish and I'm a redhead.
Yeah.
I wilt above 70 degrees. I wouldn't be able to go in there and enjoy myself. I would end up, the heat would just kill me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's different for me now. I mean, when I had my kids, when they were younger, it was just kind of a no-brainer. You take them to the fair, they'd have a great time, and then, now they don't even live here anymore. They both live in San Francisco. So it's, if I were to go to the fair, I'd just be going by myself, and
did everybody hear that? Justin needs someone to go to the fair with.
No, I do not. That is not.
And I just said no.
Yeah, no. I'm fine going by myself. So if I were going, I'm that's the type of person I am. I'm very, I'm very sociable, but I could.
I know. I just opened up something.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry,
no,
Justin. Okay,
that's okay.
We'll change the subject.
So yeah, we need to change the subject. So anyway, we have Mr. Davis coming on next. I'm like I said, I've been looking forward to talking to him. He gave me a book last year, and it was really interesting. And maybe you can kind of talk about that too, where it breaks down if you were going to put an addition on your house, do some sort of renovation. It broke it down to where you would figure out the cost.
So this is the second book?
This would be the
How
second.
many books
Well,
has he
I guess we
written?
can ask him.
right.
But this it was more of a workbook, and I found it interesting that it actually you had to really think about it. Do your homework. I guess is the best way to put it, and then you would figure out how much this addition would cost.
Okay, great. So he has construction experience or
construction.
remodeling experience. Sometimes, the best experience is when you try to do it yourself, a kitchen remodel, and you don't go through a divorce.
No, well, so we went through, we drove through Oakland, and he showed me different places that he worked on, and it was pretty fascinating. So,
All right, great.
Yeah,
Now
so-
he is from Oakland.
He's
correct?
from well, he lives in Oakland. I have to see if I don't think he was born there, but I think I was reading a little bit on of his background, and I want to say his roots.
Well, he has
are
traveled a
somewhere
lot.
else. Yeah,
and-
he has traveled a lot. Yeah. So anyway, we'll bring him on next. So when we come back, we're going to have Al Davis on the Small Business Voice. You're listening to Just Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us. This is Justin Duncan from the Small Business Voice. And what does every small business need? A website. That's why the Small Business Voice used CISPRO Innovation to build its website. If you're a small business owner looking to grow your online presence, attract more customers, and actually see results, then you need to connect with CISPRO Innovation. They've been helping businesses thrive for over 10 years, offering affordable websites, SEO, Google Ads, social media marketing, and reputation management, all this without breaking the bank. They were also voted Best of 209 for digital marketing in 2024 as well. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, reach out to CISPRO Innovation today and see what they can do for you. And tell them that Justin from the Small Business Voice sent you. Visit CISPROinnovation.com or call them at 1-800-291-9102. Connecting local businesses with local families. Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to us for more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. So today we have Mr. Davis on, Al Davis, and he just wrote an autobiography about himself, and he is 90 years young, like I said. Mr. Davis, how you doing today?
I'm doing very good.
Nice. Good. Yeah. So I don't know where you wanted to start it with your book, but you've had a long life, a very busy life, because you were Air Force, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then after the Air Force, you started your construction business?
Started a construction business.
Okay.
And you found that people that were doing you did a lot of renovations and things, and you found that people out there, they always say, find a need and fill it. You wrote a first book that was about construction,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when did you finish that book?
That was in 2005.
Okay.
And, but my background began earlier than that, and that was in 1963 when I was, after serving 10 years in the military.
And which branch was that?
I was with the U.S. Air Force.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service, yes.
Been around the world a few times. I ran into 3 young men from Stanford, graduates for engineering, and I had also, in my earlier years, I had taken architectural drawings in high school. And so by chance, I answered an ad that they had. They were looking for a draftsman. So I went in and applied for the job and got it. And that was my first taste of what construction was all about and how we were going to, how the building industry was headed in that direction. And make it short, within 6 months, we had built a manufacturing plant in Benicia, California. And we we could design and build a complete 1,200 square foot home in less than 1 day.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
it was on an assembly system.
Oh, so that's almost like what they have now, like what they call manufactured homes, where they're kind of like building them, not
Right.
on the site, but they're building somewhere else and then assembling them.
Right.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Actually, I think we were the forerunners on that.
Exactly.
And because we built them in hand, we had a pallet line that we had to construct ourselves. We designed it and everything. And we could manufacture all the framing members of a construction of a house. And once that was completed, we loaded it on a truck and take it out to the job site. And if they had the foundation in either a slab floor or a raised floor, we could erect that house in less than 4 to 5 hours. Which then cut down the construction from 6 months of building a house to only 100 to 45 days to build a house.
Yeah, I think right now when you hear about the say manufactured homes, it's something that now seems to be more of a boom. But I just wrote a homeowner's policy, and it was for a manufactured home that was built in 1989, and it's in a community here in Modesto, and every single house is a manufactured home.
Right.
But when I look at it, it's on a slab. It looks like it's 1,600 square feet. It looks exactly like if it was a home that was built from, dirt to doorknob, as they call it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yes, it was probably the forerunner. And so, wow. So, see, all that history in there. People think this is a brand new thing, but you were involved in the beginning stages of it in the 1960s.
Yeah.
And then you wrote a book about building and what it would cost someone to do renovations.
Right.
Because you did do renovations, so
We
did you own
we
real
did
estate?
renovations. We did house moves. I've moved houses from one part of the city to another part of the city. People were selling houses. Some churches, as an example, they wanted to expand their operation, but they had a house on there. They could hire us, and we would come in and lift the house off that foundation, put it on a truck, and take it down to a new job site and reconstruct that house. So that was part of the.
And was that because it was a historical building? I mean, these days they just bulldoze things. Or was it what made the house worth saving and moving it instead of just these days they just demo it?
Well, it cost you more to demo a house. See, if you had a house, and typically you have a house you want to get rid of, you have to either get it destroyed or demo it, get a permit to do it and everything. That's going to cost you $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. You could take a house that somebody wanted going to buy it. They'll sell it to you for $1, and then hire people like myself and others, and we could come in and lift that house off the foundation, load it on the truck wheels, take it down, and reestablish it. And to give you an example, I moved one house from 35th Avenue in Oakland to Bancroft in 55th. I charged them $9,000 to move the house. The house was bought by a Greek development company. They paid $1 for the house. Okay, we contracted to do the entire construction of it, and it turns out that within 4 months, we really restructured that particular house, sold it for $380,000.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Wow, it might be even a market that's going on today.
So you're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And we're here with Al Davis.
Where can someone get a hold of you? Do you have a website? How
Yes.
do they find out what you've written and where they can maybe make a purchase?
Okay, they can get in touch with me at ADC Limited. It's an LLC, and we're located at 5233 Fleming Avenue in Oakland, California, 94619. And the phone number is 510-706-4562.
Okay.
Now, when you said limited, is that actually spelled out limited, or is that part of the LLC?
It's an LLC.
Okay, so the actual, let's just repeat that real quick as far as the website address or to get a hold of you, what exactly would they be typing in?
Well, they could type it http:// www.adclimitedllc.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
I'm really interested, in construction and everything else and how people are able to make money. And I hate to see things go to waste. Like I hate when they demo things.
Yeah.
And even driving to work, I'm always going like, oh no, death of another orchard. I see a beautiful orchard and they've just like pulled the whole thing up. And then, you talk to the farmer, they go, oh yeah, water prices, etc. We can't make enough money. So there goes the entire cherry orchard. And it makes me sad.
Yeah.
But you have Justin actually sent me over pages of your book. So you have a brand new book. And what is the title of that book?
Well, this book is very interesting because it has nothing to do with construction.
Yeah, I saw the title and I'm going like, whoa, wait a minute. What is this book all about?
Well, the title of the book is I Have Lived Before and Will Again. And the book is a collaboration by myself and my daughter.
And what is your daughter's name?
Sandra Quiros.
Okay.
She's a real estate salesperson in the Los Angeles area.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So long distance collaboration, or did you guys get together?
Well, we just did it with Grumly and the AI.
Oh, okay.
But I did all the writing myself. And what it is it's the story of my life from the time I was born in 1935 all up to the present day. And all the experiences I've had, and it's covered in that. And in my discovery of doing the research on the lineage of my family, I suddenly came across the name of Ira Hughes, and I was interested in finding out who Ira Hughes was. And it turns out that Ira Hughes was a Choctaw Indian.
Oh.
He's my great-great-great-grandfather. And he was a part of the the Trail of Tears that started in 1834 and went to 1838.
That's the whole thing too. I saw the cover of the book, and of course, we're going to talk about how the cover came to be, because it does have a Native American Indian on it, and you have, in researching your lineage, and a lot of people. I have so many friends that are interested in genealogy, and I do have a lot of African American friends that are looking back at their lineage because they're trying to see. A friend of ours, actually, he looks into it and found out where his ancestors on what plantation and things like this. So I definitely want to hear your journey in what you were trying to research and why were you going back in lineage.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can kind of fill us more on the book. Give some talking points and why people should buy the book. Which
Okay. Thank you.
So you're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And we have Al Davis in studio. He wrote an autobiography about his life, so he is promoting that. His website is adclimitedllc.com, and he can be reached at 510-706-4562. So we'll be back. Stay with us.
We have a lot to unpack here.
Yes.
This business tip is brought to you by CISPRO Innovation. Hi, this is Catherine Ramos, and today we're talking about building credibility and trust. First impressions matter. The first interaction a customer has with your business is often through your website. Professional-looking website establishes credibility. Security is another aspect of optimization. Ensure your site has an SSL certification showing visitors their data is safe, further strengthening their trust in your business. CISPRO Innovation, where we help local businesses connect with local families. For more information on this tip, check out our blog at CISPROinnovation.com. That's CISPRO, SISBRO, innovation.com.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to us for more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. And today we have Al Davis in studio. He wrote an autobiography about his life.
And so much more.
Yeah, so much more. So his website is adclimitedllc.com. And he can be reached at 510-706-4562.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you were talking about your passion with construction, and that led to a book. So now there's another book that, like you said, it's not even about construction at all. Mm-hmm. What led you to this book? What was it that triggered that said, I got to write this down. I'm going to collaborate with my daughter. What was that moment when you actually decided you got to put something in writing?
Okay, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, it started much earlier. When I was about 6 years of age, that was my first memory of being in the body that I am today. And my grandmother was a school teacher. She's a full-blooded Choctaw Indian. And as I said earlier, her father was part of the Native tribes that were moved from Florida to Oklahoma. So I asked my grandmother one time, she was very religious, and she said, "Grandma, who's God's father?" And she looked at me and she says, "Boy, you asked too damn many questions." But it left me with a wonderment, and it has stuck with me all my life. I wanted to know who God's father was. Through my exercises and reading and research, I've come across reincarnation. I've learned.
So you've been on a spiritual journey.
I was on a total spiritual journey. And if any of the audience knows, I've ever heard of Betty Bethards. She was a mind or a spiritualist. She's from Santa Rosa, California. I had an incident that brought me into her life. My second wife had a son, and that son was killed in a boating accident at the age of 14.
So young.
And the strangest part is that it was the first day of salmon season, 1983.
Okay.
And we were in the bed sleep, 6 o'clock in the morning. We get a phone call, and we find out her son is dead. And that explains why she woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning screaming, "I've lost my son, I've lost my son." From that point was when we, after grieving and getting through pastor services, we were looking for someone to help us settle down and go on with our lives. And that's when I met Betty Bethards. And Betty Bethards, in her assessment,
What year was this?
She simply said, "Your son is at peace and he's with his dog at the lake,"
Oh,
which was very strange in itself. Okay? And she says, "By the way, who is this woman, Opal, on your shoulder?" And I really freaked because I had never told her my mother's name, knew nothing about it.
and what year was this? How old were you at this time?
And I sit there and just trembled. And later, much later on in life, I learned through a writing that, well, I had to kind of stop a little bit because I get choked up sometimes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your time.
How old were you at this time
Okay.
when this happened?
It's rather strange how we don't realize how much more we are alike than we are dislike.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm trying to
Get your thoughts together. I can
my
also
thoughts
tell.
together. Yeah.
I can also tell with your high cheekbones. When I'm looking at you, I feel like I'm looking at more of a, Native American.
Well,
Indian.
let's talk specifically about the image on the book. The image on the book was a creation. I happened to be from Winslow, Arizona, in high school, and I had visited my mom in Winslow, Arizona. And on the way back from Winslow, I stopped in at Prescott, Arizona, had breakfast, and while I was in Prescott, this gentleman walked up to me, a Caucasian gentleman walked up with a flop hat on, and he says, "Would you mind if I sketch you as I have seen you in a past life?" Boy, again, freaked out.
Telling you that's Arizona.
But I'm saying, I thinking it was going to be a joke. So I said, "Yeah, go ahead, you're fine." So I'm eating my breakfast. This guy takes his pen and pencil out and stencils, and he starts sketching. That picture that you saw there was the image that he drew of me.
Okay.
And that was from years and years ago.
It actually looks like you.
And that gave me a clue as to do some more research. Now, I rolled that picture up and put it away and never opened it again until 1992 when my oldest grandson was born.
Okay.
At that point, I unrolled it and looked at it, and I was involved with another person, and then we had spent many hours on past lives regressions and the likes. And in that session, she also mentioned, "Who is Opal?"
Oh, wow.
And I had never mentioned my mother's name to her. Okay,
So
that picture on that image is very dear to me. And so the wording in that across the bottom, my daughter indicated that she says 90 years of grit, grace, and God.
So you listen to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And we're here with Al Davis. He wrote a book about his life, He can be reached at adclimitedllc.com, or you can call him at 510-706-4562.
So this book is not only an autobiography, but it is your spiritual awakening, and it started with a search of ancestry and things that you said that you had memories that would come up of things that you should never have even remembered.
Yeah.
So this is not only your whole life, but also the spiritual journey. And you said something interesting, how we are all much more alike than what we think.
Yeah.
And so can you explain that a little bit more, certain things in your book that are about memories and how it affected your life?
Okay. Well, there is a period of my life, and I'll tell you something very funny. When I was I was probably 4 or 5 years of age, someone took me to see a movie. And I think I probably was asleep when they took me into the movie. And the movie was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, anybody is interested, they can go back and see when that production was produced.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, I'm waking up inside this dark place. I could see nothing but darkness. And all of a sudden on the screen, this image comes up of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs going through the jungles or going through the forest. And I saw these big white eyes, and I saw the bats, and I heard this sandy, crazy music. It freaked me out. I jumped up and ran out of the theater screaming. This happened in McNairy, Arizona in 1940, probably 1940, 41, somewhere along this. And that started me to really, trying to understand what is this all about. And so through all my life, I have been challenged to really try to find out who I am. Okay? And I think that I have turned my life. I was never really a wild person. I never smoked. I never drank. I never used drugs. Okay? I was never out chasing.
That's why you look so good at your age, okay? You honored your body. You go, this is the body I have. I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah. I got to take care of it, But and it's those memories is what's in that book, and there are some things in there that people need to understand. Well, we are in our lifetime right now with all the stuff going on with the Trump administration. There are things that we all need to acknowledge, and we all need to acknowledge God and God's grace. Okay, I will let someone read the book to find out what those thoughts are.
Because a lot of people would think, today also, I know that in the 1960s and 70s, there was a lot more exploration of spirituality and all of these things, and especially Arizona.
Yeah.
And they had everything from crystals to all of these things. People started exploring things, and then you have also, you have the two spectrums, and you also have God.
Yeah.
But you have, in this book, they come together as one. It's not two separate things.
Right.
For you,
Exactly.
it is, it's all encompassing, and all of your experience that have brought you to where you are today.
All right.
Yeah, and at the time, I have spent probably 4 years working directly for President Johnson,
Okay.
Nixon,
Wow.
Ford,
It's a long time.
Carter, and through Ronald Reagan.
Wow.
And one of my books, which we have not discussed, was published in 1976. This was a special directory that I developed and put on the market. So this publication is not my first. This hasn't been the first time I've ever come up with this. I've done it before.
And we can find all of these things also. Do you have all of your books that you've written on your website?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Davis, for coming on. If you want to learn more about Mr. Davis and his book, His website is adclimitedllc.com, and he can be reached at 510-706-4562. You're listening to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Marisol Fernandez, your certified nutrition coach and co-owner of Rooted Movement. So let's talk about staying consistent. Small changes like drinking water before meals or eating more veggies lead to big results over time. Consistency is the key. Let me help you stay on track. We're located in the heart of downtown Modesto. At Rooted Movement, we combine practical nutrition advice with movement to help you reach your health and fitness goals. So visit us today at rootedmovementmodesto.com or follow us on Instagram and Facebook to start your journey today.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to us for more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email us at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. And the Community Corner is brought to you by Lightspeed Graphics, a creative media agency specializing in video and animation. To get in touch with owner Kurt Gonzalez, text him at 209-617-2606, or visit his website at lightspeedgraphics.com. So before we recap the show, I just wanted to kind of give one more reminder about the fair.
Oh, yeah.
Today and tomorrow are the last days. So if you get a chance, head to the fair, support them. And I know it's hot. It's not comfortable, but...
What time does the fair open up in the morning?
I think they open up on the weekends. I want to say it's around noon or something. Okay. There's always somebody
there.
And
they're open. They're open until late at night. So when it cools off, maybe at the end of the day, just go down to the fairgrounds.
But they're open until midnight, I think. So I'm not sure about Sunday though. But I want to say Saturday they're open until midnight, and you can get in there anytime because they always have the 4-H.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually get in there anytime. But I don't think it officially opens till like a certain time.
And a lot of people always think of these county fairs as the rides and the concession stands and the craft fairs and everything else. But
food.
The fried food. See? But I mean, when I'm looking at, like my friends and things, there was a friend of mine that didn't make a meeting for Allstate. And I'm going, God, why did you? And then I talked to her. She goes, well, my son has a pig that he's showing at the fair. And this was like Alameda Fairgrounds. Yeah. And the same thing, I see a lot of posts as I live in Linden. It's farmers, and they're talking about what they're showing and the pie eating contest. Some of the stuff that was the old-fashioned portion of what county fairs are. Mm-hmm. So when people go, they should have better rides and things like this. The county fair is what it is. Get down there and don't just go for the fried food and the rides, but go in and see the livestock. Go and see the displays of the history of the area.
They have so much there. They have, like, last time I was there, they had a reptile exhibit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they always have something like it. You're right. There's more than the rides and the food and everything. Like they have exhibits there, and I think one year I went to the state fair. And I want to say they had a comic book sort of thing. So
there's so many more things, and when you go to those exhibits, and sometimes kids, you're always thinking that the kids want the cotton candy and the balloons and the rides. But when the kids get to go and see the goats and the pigs, and they get to go into all of the other areas of what it's supposed to be, the county fair about farmers and 4-H and everything else, the kids sometimes love that.
Yeah. So anyway,
get on out there today.
Yeah.
Today and tomorrow. That's it.
Tomorrow. I think those are the last days. So
and let's hope that they move it to June, because July is just not only interfering with the state fair, but also it's just so hot.
Okay, so it is 12 to midnight.
Oh, 12
p.m.
Thank
to
you.
midnight. Yeah,
thank you, Jim. It's always good.
Yeah,
takes a village.
It does.
Run a show.
So 12 to midnight Saturday and Sunday. So that way you're there all day, and then they pack up, and then they go to their next town. So
so think about all the lights and everything else in the evening when it cools off. Perfect.
Yes,
Perfect way to end the day with fried food on a stick.
Exactly. So I could see Marisol's head exploding right now.
I know, exactly.
So you're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iRadio app. Jeanette, really quick to recap our show today. We had Mr. Davis in studio talking about his book.
Oh, yeah. And when we were talking to him, he's just ended up getting it. It's going to be published and distributed through.
So I did not write that part down, but it's going to be available at the airports. So Hutchinson stores in the airports are going to carry his book, and it's going to be released September 10th.
Okay. And see, and I'm flying out on the 8th. But on the way back, I'll take a look and see if there's a Hutchinson store, because that's when I get a chance to really do some reading. It seems to be on an airplane.
Yeah.
I've really been trying to not do work on the airplanes.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah, the last time I flew, I did a lot of sleeping on the airplane.
I can't sleep on an airplane. I can't sleep when I'm a passenger, when someone else is driving.
Yeah.
And because, in Sweden, of course, we have the saying, måla inte fan på väggen, which means don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't anticipate something bad. But maybe it's something about being a mom. You can hear the slightest little peep in the other room and everything else. I just need to be aware of everything. I actually count the seats to the emergency exit. So if things were upside down and blacked out, I'll know exactly how many seats I have to crawl over.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think about it. Basically I just kind of relax and.
Yeah, I would survive.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go, Justin.
I'd probably survive too, because I'd be so relaxed, I'd be asleep. So,
The only survivor, and he was still asleep.
So anyway, so that book's coming out pretty soon. It's going to be distributed on Amazon too.
It just seems interesting. It seems
Yeah.
like an interesting read. So
Yeah.
it would be something that I think I'll pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. And then the business. We didn't really get into the business aspect of the book. Like the man. He's a businessman also. Mm-hmm. And we talked about the Free Bab Homes a little bit. I think
he's got a third book too. So so I guess in a way he's now an author at 90.
Yeah.
So again, it's never too late, is it? If you've ever thought about writing a book, well, just start. He wrote everything in this book.
he wanted to leave it for his grandchildren too. Like he wanted this to be basically so they knew what their family history was, and
for those that don't have writing skills, or there are books out there and things that asks questions, and you get to write down. It will have everything. How did you meet? Your husband, or what did you do in high school? And you fill all this up. And you can leave that for your grandkids, who will then get to know who grandma is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
or grandpa out there.
Yeah, well, and then he's still active too. He's helping out with the coffee business. Yeah. So
excellent. We never even talked about that.
We never
too.
did. We never got a chance to.
And when you look at people, also, what was it? Colonel Sanders didn't start Kentucky Fried Chicken until
the 60s.
In mid 60s.
Yeah.
And you look at all of these successful people; they were already kind of like. Should have been retired when they actually started businesses.
I noticed that with like Ray Kroc, the guy that started McDonald's.
Oh.
Or maybe not started it, but
yeah.
But took it to the next level. And he was 53, 54 when that finally started too.
Yeah, so what do they say? Youth is wasted on the young. But maybe it takes all those years of experience, or when someone finds that they are financially stable enough to be able to take that chance. But, that's the whole thing we talk about entrepreneurs, is taking that chance and doing what you really want to do.
Yeah. So if you're a business owner that would like to have your voice heard, feel free to reach out to me at 209-222-8846 or drop me an email at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. Let's connect and grow together. Thank you for tuning in each week, and we look forward to having you back next week. Our heartfelt shout out to our dedicated producer, Mike Murray, and the general manager of KCBP, Jim Costello, for their invaluable contributions to our show. We also appreciate the hard work of our intern, Tiffany Alex, and Kurt Gonzalez from Lightspeed Graphics, Video and Animation, for capturing and inspiring our guests. If you're seeking assistance with digital marketing, call Kurt at 209-617-2606 or by email at kurt@lightspeedgraphics.com. Jeanette, thank you today, as always, for joining me today and supporting the show.
You know
and
what?
Doing everything
I always
you do.
enjoy it. I mean, there's so many people out there that no one would have a chance to know who they are, what they do, the expertise that they have, or just the great stories. People don't sit and talk anymore, around the campfire and everything else. Life is just too fast paced.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm hoping that on a Saturday and on a Sunday, someone tunes in and they get to know about other people and what they're doing. And hopefully it will be educational, inspiring, or just getting to know who your local business owners are. And so that we're all a big community.
Yeah. So we can support our small business owners. So remember to join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. as we dive into the minds of local small business owners and even more insightful discussions. And a special thanks to our guest today, Al Davis, for sharing his expertise with us. Now, let's take care of business.